It's Saturday, and it's not Kyle. Because we have Bordeaux. Anyway, we have a wine exchange, darling, a wine that we sell every year. And funny thing is that it was always distributed by a local distributor, and so they had the exclusive, so I could never buy it in Europe. But then they lost it, and so I was able to pick it up in Europe, and here it is. They may still sell it, but it's not exclusive anymore. So, as you know, Chateau Guiraud is a Sauterne producer. In fact, the first growth Sauterne producer, makes some of the greatest sweet wines of Bordeaux. But a lot of those Sauterne, Barsac guys and gals are now making dry wines. And we, Kyle and I, we are big fans of the dry whites from Sauterne. And why? Because there's a certain characteristics about them that I can't really place anywhere else of the world. A lot of times Sauvignon Blanc and Semillon, you can peg it like Australia or Napa Valley or Sancerre or, Friuli or in Alto Adige. All of them are kind of distinctive in their own way. And so is the Sauternes, or not Sauternes, the Sauvignon Blanc and the Semillons that come from Sauterne. And here's one of them, one of the OGs. G was one of the first one. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that Olivier Bernard, who owns Domaine de Chevalier, is one of the owners of Guiraud, and he's doing a lot down in Sauterne. As you know, we sell the Clos de Lune, which is a very popular brand here at Wine Exchange, and that's him and his son Hugo doing that wine. And now Chateau Guiraud has brought in Sandrine Garbet, and maybe that name is not someone but someone you should know, because she was the winemaker at Chateau Yquem for many, many years. And she jumped ship at Yquem and went over to Guiraud. Maybe it was a financial thing. I don't know. Maybe not. Well, who knows? But she's now at Guiraud, and she makes some of the finest dry white wines at Yquem with Yquem, which we sell, and I actually, one of my favorite white wines in the world. And now she's making G. So this is the 2022 vintage, and the 22 vintage, as you well know, is a quite warm vintage in Bordeaux. In fact, it was when Kyle and I were there for premieres, we were really surprised because, and we use the word a lot, but freshness was kind of one of the surprise. And because when you have such hot temperatures and low yields, because they had a little bit of frost early in April, a lot of times you get kind of flabby wines. But even when you look at the pHs too, but these wines were fresh, and the 22s, which are starting to arrive, man, they are good. They're good now. They're just, they have drive and focus and freshness. And so with the white wines, it was kind of a little bit of a challenge, but I think because the yields were low, they picked early. In fact, this was one of the earliest that Gia has ever picked. You have 56% Sauvignon Blanc and the rest Semillon. Made by one of the greatest Sauterne and white wine winemakers. Again, Olivier Bernard had his hand in it, but now that Sandrine is in charge, I'm really excited to taste this, to be quite honest. 50% in oak, 50% stainless steel. That oak is 1 year Sauterne used oak. So it kind of gives it that little, the passion fruit and the guava. Oh, man, that's good. Makes you happy, So it brightens up your day. It's like sun, Little pineapple. I get that passion fruit on the palate. Little lemon zest. Great acidity. And again, we talked about freshness in this vintage, and it's just so surprising because every wine that I've tasted, well, we tasted a whole bunch when we were there for premieres, but now that the wines are starting to arrive, some of the Petit Chateau, you taste them and they have this like power, this like linear, like a fist, you know, and then you have these peripherals, you know, and the thing is when you drink Bordeaux young, a lot of times it tends to be a little shut down. They kind of go through a kind of a dumb phase, and the 22s are not that at all. Okay, we're talking now the red wines, but for the white wines, surprisingly enough, again, a lot of the vintages like 22 and let's say Sancerre, they tend to be dumpy. They kind of lose that precision that you're looking for, that drive, the acidity, the freshness. This has it in spades. This wine's so delicious. Man, and it's hot outside. So it'd be really nice if I was sitting on the patio looking over the ocean, having something like this. Oops, sorry. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So 20 bucks, you know, Punnett's 91, points, 90, you know, typical, very typical G. You know, it's meant to be drunk young. Can you age it? Absolutely. It's got Semillon in it. Definitely age it. But man, why would you want to age something like this when it tastes this good right now? I don't know. I wouldn't. Like, I'm going to drink some more. Delicious wine. I love white Bordeaux. I love white Bordeaux, especially when it comes from Sauternes. There's something about it. I can't put my finger on it, but and maybe it's that, you know, the Guiraud barrels, you know, there's just that, you know, they kind of give that little I want to say sweet, like honeyed, a little bit of that honeyed, you know, flavor to it. So anyway, 20 bucks. It's getting warm out there. You know what to do, folks. Happy Saturday.